Hello coaches and welcome to Give and Go Live. My name's David Newberry, the e-learning coordinator, and I'm joined by my co-host Ian Barker. Hi Ian, how are you?
Hi David, very glad to be here, thank you.
Now today's topic is all up and all back, 4 versus 4. And for those of you joining us live on the webinar, you can download the activity plan so you can take notes as we go through. So Ian, let's look at this activity. This is a 4 versus 4 activity, so it fits in with the modern game and the format for the 4v4 with no goalkeepers. We have 4 reds and 4 blues participating in this activity with the objective, of course, of trying to score in the appropriate goal. So the reds are attacking this end and the blues are attacking this end. And the basic premise is we've got to try and get all of the red players into the attacking half when the goal is scored. And equally, the blue team must also attempt to defend with all 4 players in the defensive half of the field at the time of the shot. So Ian, let's talk about some of the methods we might see for this activity.
Sure, so just real quick, you see the coach is positioned here so he or she can watch the action. If the coach is by themselves, this is probably the right place to be so that you can make sure the game condition of getting everybody into the half so everybody's recovering and attacking can be achieved. But I might use a parent for that or one of my perhaps injured players. The great thing about this game condition is that now all the red players are required to get into the half. So there's a great attacking mentality and there's going to be a lot of opportunities to support the person in possession. So we'll always be having that opportunity of not only the penetrating player, but the people around him to support or her to support. And then, of course, the flip side is that we've got a defending mentality now because we're trying to get everybody back into the defensive half to stay compact and keep everybody around the ball. So we're teaching great principles of play in a really fun, energetic activity.
In the second sequence, the blue team, having conceded the goal, now collects a ball from one of 3 piles that are in the 2 corners and 1 behind the goal. And Ian will talk about the significance of where we place the balls in a minute. But you can see here the blue player has collected the ball, started to dribble, and he is supported by 3 teammates. And those 3 teammates have moved into wide positions and 1 into a deep lying high position. The red team, to help the blues attack, have been conditioned to make their recovery runs immediately having scored a goal or shot the ball over the end line into a defensive position in their half of the field. So when the blues start the attack, they have the time and space to bring the ball forward. Ian, some of the methods on sequence 2.
Absolutely, thanks David. So first of all, position the balls around the field in these stacks so that quick restarts can happen from the end line. So that's really important. What's great about this activity is as the reds have recovered and elected, in this case because of the game condition, to delay their pressure until their own half, the blues have a good opportunity to attack out. So this player carrying the ball is supported to his or her left and right by support players, but also one player has bothered to get high to create a nice target. So you can start to see the attacking team shape. This allows our attackers a little bit of a chance to spread out and find shape, but it also, with this game condition, encourages our defenders to recover and get nice and compact. So again, our principles of play are coming out nice and clearly.
Now in the third sequence, we've removed the restriction of the red team having to get back into their defensive end. So here we have a red player that's brought the ball out, but one of the red players has put some pressure on the blue player that is bringing it out. So is essentially advanced into the defensive end of the blue team. But what's happened now is that the blues have taken advantage of some extra space in the attacking end and has scored a goal. The challenge of that is that we still have 1 red player that remains in the opponent's half of the field, and Ian will talk about what the condition will be in terms of points. So let's talk about that now, Ian.
Yeah, so this is really nice because we've given the players a little bit more freedom for decision making. So this young red player has decided to come out of their half and press the ball. They're allowed to defend anywhere they want to. But once the ball has been played beyond them, we're going to ask them to recover into their defensive half and at least try to make a defensive recovery. A failure to do that, as indicated down here by the point system, gives the Blues a double incentive for scoring quickly. So this player caught out of position and failing to recover is a reward for the Blues if they can get their goal scored quickly. And then, of course, because we've had the condition of wanting everybody to get forward and we've got our halfway line condition, if all of the Blues are not into the attacking half at the point of the score, then the defensive team would be rewarded for that in some point scoring system.
And Ian, just before we finalize this presentation, can you just talk a little bit about how important this type of activity is now that we have the new US Soccer's 4v4 format without goalies, and the importance now of all the players playing essentially from one line of the field to the other?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we play 4 versus 4, be that with 8 and unders or be that with our college players, in a 4v4, everybody is an attacker when we have the ball, and everybody is a defender when we don't have the ball. What we're also using in this type of activity, if we manage the amount of time, is a great conditioning and fitness opportunity as well. But 4v4 is the basic shape we've been provided by US Soccer at the fundamental stages. So looking to create these triangles and squares, but probably more likely diamonds. And if we're fast moving forward and we're fast moving back, and we can keep these games of the right length, you get a great deal of energy, and you're coaching the principles of play in something as fundamental as a 4 versus 4 game.
Thanks, Ian. Well, that's all we have time for today. If you'd like to join us on social media, please do so. And until next time, thanks very much, Ian, and look forward to seeing everyone on the next Give and Go.